Ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very interesting personality, a very colorful personality here, Mr. Dorji, the Director General of Tourism Council of Bhutan. Thank you, Mr. Dorji. Welcome to our platform.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sumaria, for having me on this platform.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you. So this is our Recovery Town Halls by World Tourism Forum Institute. And you are right now in Bhutan.
Yes, I'm in Thimphu, the capital city of Bhutan.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love your dress and your national dress, and thank you for showcasing all of that to us. So I will dive deep into it straight away. The tourist ban after the pandemic has resulted in national revenue loss of USD 4.4 million. And you've lost nearly about 2,500 plus international tourists due to the COVID between January to March. I believe it's more now. It excludes cancellations from regional tourists. Yet Bhutan sees COVID-19 silver lining for tourism sector. Why?
Oh yes, because tourism is in Bhutan the number 2 revenue earner, especially in terms of foreign exchange. So tourism is a very important sector. But because of COVID, now for the time being, the tourism is in standstill. But we see, while pandemic is definitely unfortunate, I mean, not only in Bhutan, globally, but despite that, as you have rightly put it, some silver linings are there. And if I may touch upon the silver lining, is basically, I feel Bhutan has this opportunity to offer to the world a new tourism model that the world is looking for post COVID-19.
Okay.
Why I'm saying is this is because for the last 50 years, Bhutan has been practicing tourism based on a tourism policy called high value, low volume, which was actually gifted by our Majesty, the 4th King of Bhutan.
Mm-hmm.
And today, later on, I'm sure you'll give me more chance to talk on this policy. But at this point in time, one silver lining is this policy, we feel, is the new model that the whole world today is looking for because of this COVID-19. And we have been successfully implementing this for the last 50 years. So this is one silver lining, I would say. The other silver lining is, I don't know whether you know this, Lonely Planet has actually named Bhutan as the number 1 country destination for 2020.
Wow.
In 2019, they have announced this, and actually, we were a bit, while we were excited to be honored, but we were a bit, I personally, as a head of the tourism, I was a bit nervous also, because now having announced this, I was not so sure because how we would be able to live up to that expectation. The aspiration, the tourists that will be visiting us.
Right.
So, as when we started, as the year was ending 2019 and 2020 was beginning, we could already see the impact of that announcement by Lonely Planet as number 1.
Right.
When you compare 2020 January and 2019 January, we could see a rise in the arrivals. So it was already coming. But now with this COVID, suddenly by February, the tourism has stopped. And I feel this whole year, maybe most probably, we are getting this opportunity to prepare ourselves for this new tourism, and also especially the recognition that we have been given by Lonely Planet. In fact, not only Lonely Planet, there's another tourism related organization called PATWA, Pacific Asia Travel Writers Association. They have also named in 2020 Bhutan as the number 1 destination for happy tourism. So such kind of recognitions with this. So I feel this is another silver lining because of COVID-19. we get this time to prepare ourselves, improve our services, improve our standards that we
Right.
want to offer to our tourists.
So the Tourism Council has already created a working group that is looking into transforming the tourism with three objectives: reacting, rethinking, recovery post-COVID-19, focusing on the approach to new tourism. Can you tell me about this working group? And the reason I'm really interested in this is because it's an action for COVID, and perhaps other nations can learn from it.
Oh yes, now in fact this is not our original idea. This idea comes from PATA,
Okay.
Pacific Asia Travel Association. These three terms: react, rethink, and recovery.
Okay.
Now, in react portion, as you will, maybe I'd like to inform you that so far under the farsighted and visionary leadership, our king, who is leading this whole COVID-19 pandemic uh, by leading uh, at the front. To date, I think we have been doing very well. As of today, we have just about 43 positive cases, of which 6 have recovered, no deaths, and all these 43 cases are imported. These are from the departed botanists who have been working overseas.
Okay.
So they have come up with this, and as of now, there is no community spread. So this is in terms of reacting to this COVID. So far, we have been so lucky. We are doing
That's
very well.
amazing. Those numbers are amazing. You know, I'm sitting in Canada, and it's like explosion of numbers of new infections here every day. So that's
And
really good
the
news.
other reacting part is again under the grace of His Majesty the King, we have initiated a Royal Relief Fund to assist with the cash to those people who have been affected by COVID-19 in terms of loss of income, in terms of loss of job, in terms of loss of businesses. So they are given a certain amount of cash to meet their daily expenses for their livelihood. So this is another big that is coming from His Majesty. And then of course from the government side, we have also introduced some measures like fiscal and monetary measures. For instance, all loans, bank loans, the repayment have been deferred by 3 months without any penalty. All interest on loans have been again waived off for 3 months. And then also the government is coming up with a lot of employment support schemes wherein most of these people who have been laid off are given some job, they again fully employed. So various reactions are already in operation. Now coming to the rethink and recovery, these are more or less together. Now we have formed a group within the Tourism Council of Bhutan. We have formed a group basically to work on this. Now going forward after this for COVID-19, how should we approach our tourism? So of course, the work is still in progress, but basically this group is looking at rethinking whether there is a need for us to rethink, and if so, how or what. So these are some big questions that we are already working on this.
Okay. Great. So what you're telling me is that there have been government incentives and waivers to help the industry. And how is right now your tour operators, the hotel operators, and all reacting to it? Are you assisting them with any new protocols? Are they being put into place? Because one of the issues that the biggest complaints that Bhutan used to have was that sometimes tour bookings procedures could take a long time. And that meant, that you had to book and pay in advance, and that was very challenging. So, are payment procedures being made easier? And then there was also another complaint used to be that there was a lack of toilet facilities. So, can you tell us a little bit about these improvements? Are these coming into place?
Oh yes, definitely. So this now still period when we don't have tourists. So these are things that we are working on. Actually, we are tying up this with the employment support scheme. We are actually engaging those people who have been laid off in tourism sector because of
Okay.
COVID-19. For instance, the toilets, the restrooms. I know you have also said this. One of the feedbacks that we get from tourists is, I mean, we need to improve our restrooms. I mean, especially on the highways and in tourism side. So that this is something that we are already working on this. The projects and activities are already rolled out. So we definitely want to improve this roadside amenities, restrooms, and other the tourism sites, the management of tourism sites. So that is one part. And the other is, which again you touched on it, is the ease of doing booking, the ease of planning a trip to Bhutan. As of now, because of our policy, while this will not change, because Bhutan's policy of high value, low volume backbone is the prepayment that the tourists have to do, because only after getting the fixed amount of that payment upfront, then their visas are processed. But one complaint or difficulty that our overseas tourists and the international agents and also our own tour operator is the ease of the international payment gateway. So this is something that we are seriously working on this. And actually not only this, we are also working presently on how to digitize all our tourism services. So this will be, of course, this will be not so easy, because this is something that, but we really need to improve this. So these are some things that we will be able to revamp or correct in the next 6 months. This is our plan.
So what about the environment, sustainability of the country? Because there is some fear of over tourism. They're saying that, especially for small nations like yours, that there could be an influx right after COVID gets over and people start getting comfortable again. So what are the lessons that you are learning from experiencing COVID and no tourism? Because I know some of your last tourists left in the beginning of March, and the country doesn't have any tourists right now. So how are the locals reacting to this new reality, this new environment, so to speak? And what is the government going to do, or your organization, to protect that?
No, this is something a very unique case to Bhutan, I would say, because tourism, while economically is very important, is the second largest income, foreign exchange earner. But at the same time, from the day one, our tourism started in 1970s and early 1970s. In fact, the first group of tourists, a group of 287 and all American, they came to Bhutan for the first time in 1974, coinciding with the coronation of our fourth king. So from that day, from the day one, we have been seeing with this policy of high value, low volume, tourism is not just about revenue and receipts. For us, we are guided by this development philosophy of gross national happiness, which has the sustainability, the well-being, the balance between the material objectives and the well-being. So because of this, the revenue and receipts in tourism is not the number one. It is important, but definitely not the number one. So therefore, we have been very cautious not to get overtaken or overridden by this economic gain. That means if that was the case, then we would have easily gone for mass tourism.
Right.
Because when we started our tourism in early 1970s, I think we have been, our fourth king, who was at the helm, uh, we hear that there were some advices from his peer groups saying that there's such a big opportunity to harness quick fortunes by opening up to mass tourism. But then he decided, our king decided that this is not for the good for the future of the country. So therefore, we chose this path, the high value, low volume tourism, uh, for the last 50 years. So we always make this sacrifice and compromise. So therefore, even now, while today as we speak, I mean, not only Bhutan, I think everyone that's the same. We don't have a tourist. This is a big concern for everyone. But then I don't think our government will take any such decisions that will change this policy. I think the policy of high value, low volume will still continue. So even if we have to forego the uh, the quick economic gain,
Right. That's the fear, right? That everybody will be trying to make up for the losses, you know, and how do you manage the industry from doing that? And you have to have very strict regulations in place.
So, in fact, earlier, I mean, you asked me this first question. In fact, we feel now, because in the media we read now all over, I mean, all the destinations, now they are looking for a new model. Basically, new model means in the sense that now, because of COVID, we are talking about social distancing, we are talking about mm, going not in favor of mass tourism, we are
Right.
talking about
So
personal
you're educating the
yes.
people on the
So,
ground.
so that is something that we have been doing, and now with this COVID-19, it gives us opportunity to further reinforce this, and also to share with the other destinations that for the sake of the Earth, Mother Earth, for the sake of the humanity, maybe, and also to preserve our own culture, the nature, for all these good universal, I mean, global objectives, maybe we should all follow the
Absolutely.
similar kind of tourism model wherein it is all regulated, it's based on the carrying capacity of the nature, the infrastructure, the social. So basically not to be uh, too much driven by the economic gain.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, and I totally agree with you. So Bhutan is on the just building up on what you just now mentioned. You know, it's also known as the land of medicinal herbs, peaceful surroundings, and it's an attractive destination for to reflect, relax, and rest. So, talk to us about some spiritual tourism. What are the products that you will be pushing in the coming 6 months or so, you know, once the destination starts to open up?
So yes, thank you very much. Till now, Bhutan was being branded or is being branded as a destination for unique culture and pristine nature, which is still very true even today and even going forward. I mean, we have a unique culture, we have a pristine nature. Now, talk a little bit of nature. Bhutan today, because of our farsighted vision, environment policy of our gifted by our Majesty, we are today the only carbon negative country in the world. And while our constitution states that 60% should be under forest cover, we are today 72% under forest cover. So nature and culture is still very strong. But at the same time, as you have mentioned, Bhutan in the olden days used to be known as land of medicinal herbs. I mean, especially in this region. Like for instance, from Tibet and China before, I think in the olden days, they used to send their people to Bhutan to collect these raw materials for the traditional medicine. So Bhutan used to be very well known. Now, this is one area that we have not been able to take advantage of so far in the past. Of course, we have started even pre-COVID, but now post-COVID, actually Bhutan, especially in tourism, we want to brand Bhutan as the new destination for wellness and well-being, taking advantage of our rich traditional medicine and also the spiritualism that we have here. We can talk about Buddhist philosophy, we can talk about meditation, we can talk about yoga. So all this will be put together, and we feel that we can offer to the world Bhutan as a new travel destination for wellness and well-being. And also the other important element of this is by our geographical location, we are quite isolated. I mean, uh, from the rest of the world. We are in these Himalayas, and also the population. As of now, we are still very small population. We have just about 700 to 800,000 people. We have a lot of space here. So post-COVID, when we are talking about social distancing, or even for the tourists to come here, the social distancing will be much more easier. And the so yeah, basically, this is something that we really want to take advantage. We want to develop this and offer this to the world.
Well, you are enticing me now to get as soon as the flights open up. I want to be.
Yes, please be our guest. Yes, we will most.
I want to come in and experience it for myself. So, other than all of these measures that you are taking, is there something that you are doing about standards and SOPs? Whereby there are some. I did the interview for Azerbaijan Tourism Board, their Director General, the other day, and they've come up with a very comprehensive program. And so, and then Singapore has SG Clean. Are there any protocols that will be brought in, formal protocols, or are you taking the lead, leaving it to the individual operators and hotels to take care of that as per the international standards or standards?
Yes. As of now, we have not yet come up with one, but definitely we are working on this. We will come up with our own standard protocol. Of course, it will be guided by the standards set by the World Health Organization and also our Ministry of Health. So we will be definitely coming up with the standard protocol for all our tourism service providers and the stakeholders. Now, just to give you an example, uh, maybe you can correct me, but what I know is maybe Bhutan is the, as of today, only country that has 21 days quarantine period. I think rest of the world is 2 weeks, 15 days. But we, of course, when we started this quarantine for COVID, we started with 15 days like rest of the world. But sometimes I think later our government decided that maybe 15 days is not good enough. So now presently, since last couple of 2 months, all quarantine are being done for 21 days. So of course, meaning, of course, while we'll base our standards on the World Health Organization, but certain things we Bhutanese also we can have our new standards. So it is yet to be developed, and once it's done, I think it will be given to all our tourism service providers and stakeholders.
So every crisis has creates opportunities. And what do you think what is one key big opportunity for Bhutan through the present crisis?
Oh yeah, so maybe I'll be repeating, but I would say is
Just give
mainly.
me one that you think is the big low hanging fruit, or something that Bhutan can really learn or reinvent itself.
Yeah, well, I would say, as I've said earlier, now this goes in line with our development philosophy, of course, national happiness. So I feel one big opportunity that comes out from this crisis is for Bhutan to share our tourism model experience for the last 50 years. And as I like to reiterate that this has been time tested, and this policy basically ensures the sustainability and the well-being of not only the tourists, not only the host or destination, but this will spread out, the benefit of this will spread out to the world itself, to the humanity. So this is something that I feel could be an opportunity. But of course, how this will be achieved is something that we need to see. But I personally feel this is a big opportunity. But why I'm saying this is because now in the media we see all destinations are actually looking for a new model. So
Absolutely.
in the new normal.
Absolutely.
So in the new normal, what I see is Bhutan, what we are doing for the last 50 years is going to be the same actually. For us, it is not going to be not really new. It is something that we will continue. For Bhutan tourism, we in terms of policy, in terms of practice, in terms of approach, there won't be much big changes. It will be just in reinforcement of what we have been doing for the last 50 years.
Mr. Doji, thank you so much for these insights. So basically, there are not going to be major changes. You're not going to try to reinvent the wheel here, but just build on your good product, on your good best practices that you've had all these years, to reinforce those and control over tourism. I think that's the key message that is coming out. And I think your model is, as far as you're concerned, is something that the world can learn from. And why not? Why not? We are living in very strange times, but somehow I feel that these strange times has also brought us closer. Look at this. You're sitting in Bhutan, and I'm sitting in Toronto, and here we are, talking through this platform, and hopefully I'll see you in person as well. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. I also look forward to seeing you in person.
Thank
I'd like to.
you, Mr. Doji.